What's going on, guys? Physics here again. This is gonna be a league start template. I'm not really gonna say league start guide. It's gonna be a league start template. If any of you guys wanted to league start with the Dark Pact skeleton build that I did the build diary on in Expedition League, Dark Pact is getting buffed even for the skeleton version, so it'll have a lot more damage. I just like drafted a really quick tree here. It does have some gear, though it's not completely correct. I just copied most of the gear I had on my character when it died. A lot of this is, I cover most of the like must-haves here. Something that's not in the tree, you would definitely want to Despair, Curse on Hit Ring. I do have Despair in the links. Cat aggro. I do have Despair in the links just because I didn't want to edit a new ring in. The other thing that it's missing is you definitely want the craft for a reduced effect of chill and shock on your gloves or your boots or something. PoE still isn't updated on the Pantheons, but the way that a lot of people will be getting pseudo ailment immunity in 3.16 is just grabbing the Pantheon for reduced effective shock and chill on you, and then also crafting it on a piece of your gear, which you may like. So I took this cluster here, which gets 20% reduced shock and chill for the small nodes, and then 10% here, so that's 30, and then you take that one, and that's another 20, so that's 50%. So if you take Brine King, you won't need to get the crafts. So you're left with either the option of, well, you have three options. You can take the Pantheon and this cluster and be fine. You can get 2 crafts on your gear and this cluster and be fine. Or you can take all 3 and overcap, because technically you can be shocked past 100% from some bosses and some mobs in the game. It is possible. So that's why I said pseudo ailment immunity. So it's up to you what you kind of want to do there. Excuse my voice. I'm losing my voice. I've been making so many videos. And I'm pretty tired at this point, but bear with me. So this tree was honestly really awkward to make. I didn't really have a good idea of where to go. Pathing to the right side of the tree now feels incredibly awkward. It's like very, very out of reach now. For a lot of these points to get over here. And by the time you get over here, it's so far to get to Written in Blood. And by the time you're over here, it's like, what else are you going for? You don't really care that much about Arcane Sanctuary anymore. That's like a lot of nodes just to get some block chance, right? If you look over here, our block chance is 61% attack block and 49% spell block. That's still really good. It's not cap, obviously, but it's really good. They added some new block nodes here, which we pick up. We pick up the full cluster down here, and you obviously take the Masteries as well. There's not a whole lot of Masteries for this build. Just because of the nature of the build. So this is a level 96 template. Play with it a little bit. And actually, it ends up having some pretty nice stuff going on here. So 6,700 life about, 2,300 ES about. This is without the Corrupted Soul Doriani Timeless Jewel, which will give you another boost with your ES, a pretty fat boost. And then since ailment immunity is really easy now, we don't need Arctic armor. Since blind doesn't work unless you're running evasion anymore, we drop Flesh and Stone from the build as well. So as far as like auras and stuff go, I just use Summon Skitterbots and Determination. Now if you want to, something you could definitely do is like maybe grab Combat Stamina or some other armor mastery on the tree here. You could go for Faith and Steel. That's only 2 points. That's really easy to get. You go Faith and Steel, and then you can actually spec oh no, that's the wrong mastery, excuse me. It would have to be a straight armor mastery. I guess the armor and energy shield mastery can't get it, so it would have to be an armor mastery. But if you were to take this and path it, you could get the free mana reservation efficiency on Determination. And then you could also take a life mastery for Vitality mana reservation efficiency, and then you could grab Vitality and put that in the build as well if that's what you wanted to do. That would result in a lot more survivability. Other than that, since I can't path over to the right side of the tree, I go down for the Scion wheel, cheese wheel life nodes. We get more block, we focus more on block. So basically the defensive layers of the build, quite a lot of block. Obviously Necromancer doesn't get life on block for free anymore. You will have to craft that on your shield. However, you do get a crazy amount of life regen anytime you block. And that paired with some of the other nodes, I grabbed 20 life and mana gain on block. It's like whatever, but I don't really have anything else to grab from this node, and it's okay. There's no reason grabbing more max because I'm not hitting cap anyway. The 3% per 5 is like, okay, that's a little bit more damage. If you'd rather take that, it's definitely a viable alternative. But yeah, the defensive layers of this build basically comes with a decent amount of raw. We're looking at like 9k. If you actually like get min-max gear or whatever, you with a corrupted soul, you could push like 11k, maybe a little bit more. So decent amount of raw, a fair amount of regen, running quite a bit of regen on the tree. Obviously Necromancer now for free with Bone Offering gets a bunch of regen, while also running other things, like again, if you want to fit in Vitality and stuff like that. There's also the Life Mastery that gives you 2% mana regen, or life regen, excuse me, while moving. Things like that will give you a lot of regen. And then again, a fair amount of block. And then lastly, armor, running determination. It's also not updated in PoE here. It's a percent more, so this isn't exactly accurate. But as you can see, the character is pretty tanky on paper. I do believe this is with bone armor up. Again, you will want to use bone armor. It's spec'd on the tree for the Ascendancies up here. So, yeah, quite a decent amount of defensive layers here, especially once, again, this is an accurate determination, is a lot stronger now than what you see here. And armor in general is much, much stronger than what you see here. If you're wondering what Ascendancies to go, you'll start off Mindless Aggression into Unnatural Strength, probably then into Mistress of Sacrifice, and then Bone Barrier last. If you're playing softcore and you don't care about the survivability that Mistress of Sacrifice offers you, you can go for Bone Barrier first, which will give you a lot more damage on your Dark Pact. Totally up to you on what you want to do. Other than that, I think that's everything. Again, this is just a rough draft of the template. This build's tree in general changed quite drastically from what it was last league, but overall it should be quite a bit stronger than last league, as the buffs to Dark Pact are quite substantial, especially now, excuse me, if you grab Anomalous. I think it's Anomalous Dark Pact, which allows you to sacrifice an additional percentage of your skeleton's life with every cast. Before, with Anomalous Dark Pact, it's base 6%, right? Which is what is shown in this PoB, because gyms aren't updated. 6% of their life. If you got Anomalous, it would be 8%. Now, the baseline Dark Pact is 8%, and presumably, it's not in the patch notes, but presumably they would be changing Anomalous Dark Pact, so it's not redundant, to being 10% now. Which is almost double the damage of the original Dark Pact if you didn't have Anomalous Dark Pact, which is quite a damage boost, really. So yeah, you can ignore a lot of these numbers here. They're not accurate. A lot of stuff isn't updated with PoE, but yeah, this is a basic template. I think one really cool thing here is the minion mastery here that gives you a bunch of life. This note here is really, really juicy. Yeah, I don't know. In general, I think the tree is pretty fair. If you wanted to, instead of grabbing Heart of Darkness, you could easily go for Corruption if you want quality of life on Wither uptime and Wither effectiveness. Again, since PoB is so inaccurate right now, it's hard to tell if really the Withered effectiveness would add up to more damage than Heart of Darkness. Who knows? This is just a quick mock-up. Some stuff, there's a lot of room for optimization here, but I just wanted to get this out there because the tree is so drastically different. There's no way you'd be able to just copy it one-to-one from the 3.15 tree. So if you, excuse me, if you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to shoot them down below in the comments or whatever. I'll answer it to the best of my ability. I am not league starting with this build. If you want to, this is a good starter template to get you started. There is some gear in here, and I will answer any questions you have to the best of my ability. But yeah, have fun with it. If you decide to play it, let me know. I think that's it. If you like the video, thumbs up. If you didn't like it, thumbs down. And if you like me, maybe consider subscribing. Yeah, that's it. Have a good one, guys. Have fun in Scourge.